Hello. Hello. I think I'm just going to move this up a little bit. Super excited to be live for the first time in a while. It's been, I think it was March, the last time I did a live video. I with myself and I said, Becky, you need to start doing your lives again. So here I am. So I'm live on Instagram, hello, at the same time as on Facebook. So I'm looking either up there or down here. So as I'm talking, if I'm not looking directly at you, please don't think I'm being rude. That is just the reason why. So I'm going to be talking about how to control your inner state, especially in stressful situations. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm live because I can't speak. Just going to make sure that I can see myself live on Facebook. Brilliant. So I can see that I'm live on Instagram. So if you are live and you're staying with me, say hello. Let me know you're here. I can see myself on Facebook, so let me just share that real quick and then we will get started. So I'm talking about how to control your inner state, especially in stressful situations. So as always, I am Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer, hypnotherapy trainer, breakthrough coach trainer, and I also train a couple of other modalities, including energy, EFT, timeline therapy, a couple of other bits and bobs that really support coaches to create space for their clients to break through in. I regularly give expert comments to Grazia magazine, Metro, Women in Health, Women's Home, loads of places like that on neuro-linguistic programming, mental health, mindset, and anything really about mindset psychology and neuro-linguistic programming, because I think it's really important to educate people on how powerful these tools are to use. So today I'm diving into how to control your inner state, especially in stressful situations. I do have some notes just to make sure that I don't go off on too much of a tangent. If you've got any questions as I'm going through, please do ask them. After I've done this live, one of my team members goes and puts my write-up up on the blog. So if you do prefer to read things, you can also go over to the blog, the Yes I Can method. In fact, it's yesicanmethod.com. If you're on Instagram with me, the link to that is in the profile anyway, I'm sure. And if you're on Facebook with me, the link is in all of my profiles so you can see it. And you can get the write-up of this one usually within a couple of days, and all of my previous, there's hundreds of write-ups and videos and blogs and everything on there, because I literally did a video every single week for 2 years. And that's what I was saying. I had a conversation with myself the other day and I said, Becky, it's been a while since you've done a live on a Monday, so let's get them going again, because I do enjoy it and it's really nice to connect with you all as well. So as I'm going, if you've got any questions, please do ask. Hi Adele, lovely to see you. If you have anything that you want me to elaborate on, or there's anything that you need to know, just let me know. So sometimes when we are in certain situations, we can find ourselves becoming really frustrated, really annoyed, and that can be towards ourselves or it can be towards others. So when we're in certain situations that may be deemed as being a bit more negative or stressful, whatever word you want to call them, a bit rubbish, a bit shitty, we can find ourselves feeling like rubbish, right? We can find ourselves feeling unresourceful, we can find ourselves feeling angry, sad, irritated, frustrated, anxious, really unresourceful, we'll call it, to put it politely. It can leave us feeling unresourceful. Now, what do we do about that? Because it's not helpful. It's not helpful for us to feel like that, because what happens in the mind, in the brain, is when you feel unresourceful, you're projecting that out into the world. So if you feel angry or sad or irritated or negative in any way, a bit rubbish, a bit crap, a bit shitty, if you are feeling that way, you are going to project that out into the world and onto other people as well. Have you ever, I feel like I'm talking about myself here, No judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. Have you ever been in a situation where perhaps somebody's been talking to you, or perhaps your child has been asking you for something, and you've got something on your mind, right? Perhaps you're stressed about something, or there's something that you're thinking about over and over again, and somebody's asking you for something, or you, like, could be your partner or your wife or your husband or your child. Somebody's asking you for something, and you're thinking about this other thing that's stressing you out, and then you've snapped at them because you're stressed, right? But it's not them that's been stressing you out, it's your thinking of that other thing that's stressing you out. Has anybody been in a situation like that? Give me a wave. We're all human. Pretty sure every single person who's listening will have experienced that at some point or another. I'm probably, just the person that will admit it. I said it's a judgment-free zone here. Okay, so there's been situations where, this happens, you're thinking about something else, you're stressed about something, you're thinking about it, you're trying to work it out in your mind. Somebody else is asking you for something or speaking to you about something, and you've kind of, might not be a big snap, but it might be like just yeah, okay, I'll do it in a bit, or just give me a minute, like 2 minutes. Or in my case, I said 2 minutes 2 minutes ago. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. Anyway, so what that happens for, why that happens, I'll speak so it makes sense. That happens because your internal representation of the thing that you're thinking about, that you're stressed about, is being projected out onto the person that you are communicating to, right? Sophie says, I'm feeling like that today. Hi, Rebecca Lockwood. Oh, Sophie, it's lovely to see you. I hope that you're okay. So you are projecting the way that you are thinking and feeling onto that person that you are communicating to in that situation. It's not that you wanted to do that. It's not you. Like, you are not frustration. You are not anger. You are not unresourcefulness, right? It's just a behavior that's being projected out because of the thinking that you have going on in your head in that moment in time. Now, why, like, when we're doing this, why and how can we change this? Because it's not really helpful for anybody. It's not resourceful for you. It's human. Yeah, of course it is. You should never judge yourself for it. You should never beat yourself up for it. I know I definitely used to before I trained in NLP and began training others in NLP. I used to judge myself and be so self-critical because of my human nature, right? So it's really important, firstly, to be aware that it is normal and it is human to do this, because that's how our brains are wired. If we are thinking about something stressful in our mind, and that's our internal perception, and we're communicating with somebody else, we're going to project that onto them regardless of whether they have upset us or not. They could not be anything to do with the situation. Let me just see if a new comment come through. Okay. So before you know it, you can end up in this negative spiral, and then you're beating yourself up about something that you did or said or thought about, or something that's happened within this situation, or a new event that has happened because you've been stressing or being stressful. You are stressed about something else that's happened, okay? So the first thing to remember is what I just said, like, you are not your behavior. Your behavior is not your identity, okay? And your feelings are not your identity either. So anger, sadness, irritation, anxiety, these are not an identity, okay? These are just behaviors that come out of what our internal perceptions are, right? We are projecting our internal perceptions out into the world, and that's how our behavior is formed. So we can change our internal perceptions, our internal representations, which changes what we are projecting out, which changes our behaviors, okay? So when we think a certain way, we're projecting that out onto other people, and this can cause misunderstandings as well. So an example of this could be, you're at the supermarket. You're at the supermarket, you're putting your shopping out of your trolley onto the conveyor belt, and the person behind you starts looking at you, starts looking at the stuff that you've got in your trolley, and you're thinking, who do they think they are, looking at my stuff in my trolley and judging me because of what I've got in my trolley, in my basket? Like, and don't, like, I know everybody everybody has thought that at some time or another, okay? So this happens again because of your internal perceptions, right? Whatever you are thinking in your mind, you are projecting out onto other people, onto other situations, onto other events. So you are only projecting out when you're putting your food on your conveyor belt, you are only projecting out how are they, why are they judging me, because you're judging yourself, okay? Can be quite a hard pill to swallow, that one. Not everybody likes it, but it's the truth because of how our brains are wired. So how do we change this? Like, what do we do about changing this? Because it's not resourceful for anybody for you to be in an unresourceful state. And it's certainly not resourceful for you to be projecting your unresourceful states onto other people. Now, within my NLP practitioner and breakthrough coaching certification program, there are a number of different techniques and tools that I teach that are very advanced and very powerful. We've got quite a lot of our students on this live actually, so it's lovely to see you all. That are very powerful, that can really help you to change your internal representations very quickly. Now, I do want to share with you some things right now that can help you quite quickly. Not quite as powerful, but will still help you, and actually are the fundamentals of the things that I've used in my life on a daily basis to really help me change my internal perceptions, representations, and become aware of how I'm responding in stressful situations. And then if like on and on, so like if I'm stressed about something in general, how do I deal with that in my life without it projecting onto my relationships with my kids, my relationship with my husband, my relationship with myself, most importantly, right? How do I support myself through that? So the first thing is to think about, what are you thinking and feeling in the moment? What are you thinking and feeling in the moment? And this is really about becoming present, right? Becoming present, because if we are worrying about something that's going on in our life, or something that's happened the day before or earlier that day, but we are in, like, let's say we're sat having tea with our kids at tea time, we don't want to be projecting that shit onto that dining table, right? Because it's not healthy, it's not resourceful, it's not going to support us, it's not good for anybody. So think about what you're thinking and feeling in the moment. Now, when you think about this and when you become aware of this, is this what you need to be thinking and feeling about in this moment? So if you're sat down having tea with your family, do you still need to be thinking about that thing that's stressing you out? Like, I completely appreciate that it's potentially a big thing that's stressing you out. However, does it need to be brought to the table right now? Right? Or could it be parked and could you revisit that at a later time? Yeah. So that's the first thing, becoming aware. Like, what is my internal representation and what's going on in my head right now? Because if it's something that's not going to support you at that moment in time, why, like, there's no need for it to be consuming your thoughts or your perceptions. The next thing you can do is to ask yourself a better question. If you're in a stressful situation, you can ask yourself, what do I want as an outcome from this? What do I want as an outcome from this? Now, what this does is this creates a sense of curiosity. And often, what people find is when they're in stressful situations, they will be stressing and like dwelling and thinking about how bad and about how shit it is. And we all do it, right? It's natural, it's normal behavior to do this, especially because the negativity bias will be in play in your brain as well, where it will be searching for all the bad things to back up the bad things to keep you from, keep you safe. It's a primal instinct, right? But being aware of this is so important, and it's where you can start to make the changes. And asking yourself, what do I want as an outcome from this, can help you, because there might be something that you're thinking about that's consuming you, making you feel negative and stressed out, but actually you're not really consciously aware of what the outcome you want even is. So when you understand what the outcome is that you want, you'll find your resourcefulness much quicker, because you'll know what the outcome actually is that you want, and you'll get there much faster. The next thing is to consider what you think about yourself in this situation. Consider what you think about yourself in this situation and ask yourself, am I projecting my own limitations that I have onto this situation? This one's probably the most powerful and the hardest one to hear. Consider what you think about yourself. How are you perceiving yourself? Who do you perceive yourself to be? Do you believe you are worthy of having what you have? Do you believe you are good enough to have what you have? And the answer quite often can be no. And so that indicates that there's potentially something that you need to work on that's deeper rooted. Because when you feel negative, it's because you're projecting what you believe about yourself onto the situation. When you ask yourself, am I projecting my own limitations that I have on this situation? You will become more aware of what's really going on at the deep rooted subconscious level. And it's a good indication that there's further things that you need to work on. So, as humans, we tend to jump to conclusions, we tend to project out what we have going on internally. So, we need to be aware what is actually going on in here, what's going on internally, and then we can begin to make the changes that are necessary. So, thank you so much for joining me today. We was talking through how to control your inner state, especially in stressful situations. If you are on Facebook with me, I have popped a link to my NLP Foundations course. If you are on Instagram with me, you can find the link in my profile. The NLP Foundations course is the first steps to learning about neuro-linguistic programming. It is a certification at association level and dives into this content in much more depth. As always, I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer, hypnotherapy trainer, and breakthrough coach trainer. There will be a write-up of this session and it'll be going on the blog in the next couple of days. You can find it at yesicanmethod.com. You can also find hundreds of other videos and write-ups on there as well if you want to go through them. Lots of content like this that will really support you personally and professionally. If you've got any questions, do let me know and I'll come back and answer them later. Have an amazing day and I'll be live again the same time next week. Thank you so much.